let's talk about Rebel Moon. So I just saw Rebel Moon, and this is going to be a quick little video. So right off the bat, this was a 6 out of 10 for me. I did not enjoy it as much as I thought I would be. The critics say it's the worst thing. No, it's not. Watching the film, this is one of Zack Snyder's least. Let me say this again. Least favorite film. My least favorite films he's done, which is sad. The story was there. The execution was not. The writing at times was kind of bad. I think someone really needed to work on the screenplay. Now, rumor about this was supposed to be a Star Wars story. Be honest with you, I actually wouldn't mind if they would have done this with Rey. And it feels like this felt like Korra was Rey. Korra was Rey, and she did this Seven Samurai story, and then he kind of went with this. And I actually liked it. If they did this with Rey and kind of follow that, it might have worked. But again, Star Wars did what they did. And the first one, if I had to compare, I'm not going to compare Force Rise of Skywalker because this film is 10 times better than that. And I'm definitely not going to compare Last Jedi. I'm going to compare the first one. I think Force Awakens is better due to the fact that it's following the first Star Wars formula. And this one is slightly better for originality here and there, but not much. The first act I enjoy. The second act, them traveling, all that stuff, that's cool and all, but it got boring after a while and repetitive. The third act could have been a whole lot better and a whole lot tighter. Hopefully in part 2 it's a little bit better. Like I said, following the Seven Samurai story was okay, but again, I think that's a trope that I think a lot of directors need to stop. Just because it worked in that style for Lucasfilm, you could change it. We don't need that all the time. Y'all can pivot from that. Like, that's a good blueprint, but find another blueprint. The movie was okay. But the movie did not capture me as a Army of the Dead did. It did not capture me as the Zack Snyder Justice League did. It didn't even capture me as Man of Steel or 300. Hell, I hate to say it, even Sucker Punch was a little bit more watchable than this. Maybe because of the runtime, maybe. And when I say watchable, it was more easier to digest because this was a lot. Like I said, the first act was good, especially when you get to see how Korra's living in the world, and eventually the Imperial Army, we call them Imperial, the Empire, they come down and they make an impact in the village. What I don't like is we don't go back to the village. So, like, it sets up in the village. We eventually leave the village. But the way they do it is they set a group of soldiers there. The soldier have a plot device, and we really don't go back. Hell, like, there's two characters in the first early one. There's a soldier and a girl. And you thought they would going to be part of the team, which I would have thought, yeah, that'd be cool. But we don't see them. They do their little thing, and that's it. We don't see them no more. And you're like, well, that was a waste. I mean, especially when you the way Zach kind of gives them a lot more screen time than you think they needed to. And then after that, they go on their journey. I would say the problem I had with a lot of the recruiting process of them characters was a lot of these characters had no speaking role. They didn't do nothing. And then you don't get a backstory to these characters to the third act when the villain of the villain comes in and he introduced all these characters. You're looking around like, this should have been done in Act 2. But he does a very good job of doing it. Unless it would have been nice if they had that scene of him early on going through vials. Oh, this is this person. This is this person. But I mean, also I heard there's a rated R version and there's an extended cut of this version, which is stupid. Why not release it on Netflix? And that takes it, and then it's like, okay, so there's more scenes that were cut. Like, what the fuck? Like, you on Netflix? Unless they were doing that because they wanted to be a theater release, so they gave us the theater version. They should have released the R-rated version on Netflix and gave us the theater version there. But it was weird how they did this. I don't think Netflix should ever do that again. Just release the goddamn full product because you're getting slandered on fucking in critics wise. So There's a lot of stuff that's missing, but as of right now, the film holds for me as a 6. It's not that. Maybe it'll change my mind, but I'll do a review on the extended cut. But again, it's like I don't want that. You're Netflix. I don't need an extended cut. You released a whole R-rated version. What the fuck? It just don't make sense. They just wanted it in theaters. It is what it is. But again, 6 out of 10. It didn't really capture me, and that's all I gotta say. As always, like, subscribe. Peace. Have a Johnson day. You comment below. Let me know what y'all thought about Rebel Moon.